Bless your heart.
Some people are simply flagrant, okay? And when I say flagrant, I mean they have no problem flashing their wealth, their fortune, their crimes in everyone's faces and profiting off of them even, right? I mean, come on. Some people would suggest that the West was basically built off of this kind of person. Well, today we're about to talk about yet another. I want you guys here, right? You're seeing here. I want you to meet Kouri Richins and her husband, well, her late husband, Kouri Richins. Okay? Now, Kouri Richins is a Utah mom. After she lost her late husband, Kouri Richins, well, she decided to write a children's book on how to deal with loss. Not even kidding. Now she's accused of murdering him. Yeah. Alright, so I want you guys to keep your focus on the lovely couple, though, right? So let's take a look at how this all played out. Now, this Utah widow and mom of 3 who recently published a children's book on coping with the loss of a loved one following the death of her supposed beloved husband is now accused of murdering him. Well, according to court documents obtained by People, Kouri Richins of Kamas, Utah is charged with 1 count of first-degree aggravated murder and 3 counts of possession of a controlled substance with the intent to distribute in connection with the death of Kouri Richins. So Richins' attorney, Sky Lazaro, did not immediately respond to People's request for comment. In fact, it's unclear if Richins has even entered pleas to the charges. Prosecutors allege that on March 3rd, 2022, Richins, 33, laced Eric's drink with a lethal amount of fentanyl. He was pronounced dead hours later. Now, this one's interesting, and shout out to Char Willie for sending in this suggestion, okay? I am personally fascinated. And we're not done with the story yet, but just right there in and of itself, I mean, it kind of seems like an open and shut case. Like, how did you get away with it long enough to write a children's book? Right? Okay, let's keep looking. So prosecutors allege that on March 3rd, 2022, okay, March 3rd, 2022, Richins says she didn't make him a fentanyl drink. No, she prepared her husband a Moscow Mule that night, and it was to celebrate a real estate deal for her business. Now, shortly after he consumed the drink in the couple's bedroom, Richins claimed she went to sleep with her child, who was experiencing night terrors. When she came back to their room, she said she found Eric, 39, unresponsive and called 911. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Now, citing the medical examiner, prosecutors say Eric died of a fentanyl overdose. An autopsy indicated he had approximately 5 times the lethal amount in his system. Last time I checked, that's not how they make a Moscow Mule. Investigators obtained search warrants and seized the family's electronic devices, during which they discovered several text communications between Richins and an acquaintance she was allegedly buying drugs from, the documents state. Do you see what I mean by flagrant? Flagrant. Okay, like, bruh. Okay. Investigators interviewed the acquaintance, who said Richins purchased hydrocodone from them sometime between December 2021 and February 2022. Now, weeks later, Richins allegedly reached back out to the acquaintance asking for a more potent drug. Some of the Michael Jackson stuff, the acquaintance said Richins told them. Of course, some of the Michael Jackson stuff. I mean, damn, if it could kill Michael Jackson, it could kill anybody, right? I mean, that's clearly what she was thinking. All right. Richins then allegedly obtained 15 to 30 fentanyl pills worth $900 on February 11, 2022. On Valentine's Day of 2022, Eric and Richins had dinner at their home. After consuming a sandwich, Eric became ill and broke out in hives. He told a friend he believed his wife had poisoned him, according to the documents. Valentine's Day. Okay. Bruh, if you think your wife poisoned you, I mean, like, for real, because I'm like a paranoid MFer, okay? Sometimes I think everyone's trying to kill me. Real talk. But if I really believed you were trying to poison me, why would you continue to live there? Like, not trying to blame the victim at all. But I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, if you're living with someone and you get very, very, very ill, okay? If you get very, very, very ill and you are living with someone, please, and you think that they poisoned you for real, please move the hell out of there. What the hell's wrong with you? Anyways, so on February 26th of 2022, Richins allegedly bought another $900 worth of fentanyl. Less than a week later, Eric died, according to the documents. Now, citing a search warrant, KSL-TV reports Eric's family suspected Richins was responsible for his death all along. He suspected she was responsible for his death before he died, so yeah, go figure. He warned them that if anything happened to him, she was to blame. The warrant states, per the station, Eric's sister told investigators Richins gave Eric a drink while the couple was on vacation in Greece a few years before his death. Afterwards, he became ill, and he told his sister he believed Richins had poisoned him. Oh my god, he should have left 3 years ago! See, this is part of the issue, right? Sometimes we see good where there is no good, right? We want to give credit where no credit is due. And when you've got a demographic of people, let's just say women, right? And everyone is trained to see them as these helpless, innocent, can do no wrong victims of the world, right? Then even when your lying eyes are telling you, right? Your lying brain is telling you, oh, this woman's really trying to kill me. You're just going to sit around and just keep living with her every single day, keep accepting food and drinks from her every day. What is wrong with you? No. Forget all of these stereotypes that work for or against any particular demographic. Please use your common sense, y'all. Damn. And here's a really big danger point. A lot of people don't realize this, right? So prior to his death, Eric's family said he was seeking a divorce and changed the beneficiary of his will and life insurance from his wife to his sister. In March of 2023, a year after her husband's death, Richins released a children's book on grief entitled, Are You With Me? Isn't that like a rallying cry? Wait, what? That's... I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, maybe she got it like it's like, Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret, like the Judy Blume thing. I don't know, but bruh. Okay. No. But this is a danger point. If you really truly believe someone has been trying to harm you, poison you, take you out in some way, right? Once or multiple times prior to this point, and now at this point you want to divorce this person, you want to take them out of your will, blah, blah, blah. You have to understand that this person was already trying to harm you, right? So you are now in excess danger. Do not sit there in this person's face, living with them and giving them access to you 24/7, right? When they've already proven that they don't mean you well necessarily, right? Or if you worry about that, right? It seemed like he has a strong social support network of friends and family. He should have moved out to them. And if you are in a similar situation, please remove yourself from the situation. Okay, as safely and as quickly as possible. You can always serve this person later with the divorce papers, right? You don't have to sit there and keep yourself in harm's way. Now, I understand some people do this because they don't want it to look like they abandoned their matrimonial home and then they're forfeiting rights to it. I get that, but what's worth more, your house or your life? Now, and so this is the cover of the book, right? Kouri Richins, you see that right there, right? And actually a sequel was in the works at the time of her arrest. So I guess we'll just never see the brilliance of that sequel. It was called Mom, How Far Away is Heaven? Oh, she's disgusting. She's capitalizing off of the grief her children went through losing their father because she murdered him. Wow. Flagrancy. Do you see why I say flagrant? Flagrant. Oh my God. That's terrible. Damn. Kouri Richins, remember, like, she had time. Now, I don't know if she was planning this book in advance or if it's just something she chose to do when she found out she was too late in taking her husband out before he could change the will. He obviously had the opportunity to do so before she took him out. So, I don't know how long she had been planning this book to try to profit off of her crime. However, okay, she did have the time, like I said, to write the book, to publish the book, and then to do the media tour. Guys, let's take a look at this scrupulous woman, okay, on her media tour.
A sibling or a friend, talking about loss with kids can be a tricky subject.
Joining us now is author of Are You With Me? Kouri Richins, to share her 3 C's to helping kids cope with grief. And Kouri, I want to start with your story. What happened in your personal life?
So my husband passed away unexpectedly last year. So it's March 4th was a 1-year anniversary for us, and he was 39. It completely took us all by shock. And we have 3 little boys, 10, 9, and 6. And, my kids and I kind of wrote this book on the different emotions and grieving processes that we've experienced last year. And, hoping that it can kind of help other kids, deal with this and kind of, find happiness some way or another.
And to make sense and process, I'm sure. And I'm sure you felt that going through and trying to explain it and articulate it for you and your boys.
Yes, exactly.
Bro, first of all, this just shows you the host had to sit there and try to coach her and to process and make sense of it, all right? Not just to find happiness somewhere, but to process and make sense of loss for small children. Jeez. Mrs. Richins, I wonder if she cared about any of that at all. It doesn't really sound like that's what her goal was. It just very much sounds like her goal was just to capitalize. This is something.
Exactly. And so I've done, I'm new to all of this, so kind of doing, research and reading books and things to try and understand, not only how to grieve as a widow, as a wife, but also, with my kids, how to help them understand what just happened. And what I have kind of found is, as I mentioned, it's kind of the 3 C's is how I visualize it. And it's, connection, continuity, and care. And it's, making sure connection is the major one, and making sure that their spirit is always alive in your home, and memories are always brought up, and doing things that your loved ones love to do, whether it's riding bikes or their favorite dinner, and just constantly, talking about them.
And Kouri, do you mention at dinner, here's Dad, or Dad would like this meal, or Dad would, let's bring Dad on a bike ride?
Yeah, exactly. And it's, explaining to my kids just because he's not present.
Oh my God. This is giving me the heebie-jeebies. If she actually really does this, she is the biggest piece of trash I have ever seen, ever. I hope they throw her under the jail and then keep her there indefinitely. She is a terrible person. Oh my God.
Here with us physically, that doesn't mean his presence isn't here with us, and he's doing these things with us, and he's, here for birthdays, and he's here for Christmas, and, and it's just comforting to them to know that, they're not living this life alone. Like, Dad is still here. It's just in a different way, a different version.
Well, I opened up your book, and one of the first pages I saw is a little boy. It looks like he's standing in a hallway at school, and he's saying, "Are you still here?"
Yes. Yeah. And it's, and that was like the first day of school. and, you know, all the nerves that kids face on the first day of school with new, you know, and just hoping, you know, Dad, like, walk with me, like, help me get through today, like, give me the strength to do that.
Bro, she's a liar. She's lying. You're trying to tell me that she got this from her kids. So this is the way adults imagine shit. Because if you think about a child, right? Children don't go through school with their parents with them. So the kid walking through the hallway that day would not be like, "Oh, Dad, keep me company today." Like, what?
And it has found, you know, it's been a lot of peace for my kids to, you know, to really remember that in the back of their head, that they're never alone, you know, so.
So you actually wrote this book with your children.
I did. Mm-hmm.
And it's only been a year. How did you process and say you go from processing death to, I need to write a book and help others?
You know, I just watched the struggle that my kids were going through. And I you know, I went on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and trying to find something that we could use to cope at nights. Nights are the hardest, it seems like, for everybody when, you know, dealing with anything. But I just wanted some story to read to my kids at night. And I just could not find anything. I couldn't find anything that really, you know, suited them or helped them find comfort and peace. And so, you know, I was like, let's just write one. And so, you know, I took things that my kids have said to me this last year and we kind of articulated it and put it into...
She's a trash bucket. So remember, her husband just died a year ago. And I mean, a year ago from like now. While we're airing this to you, it's been a year and 2 months? So in a year and 2 months, she had enough time to go through the whole process of grief as a wife, help her kids through the process of grief as the children who are missing their father. 3 children, 3 of them, right? And then she had the time after that to compile all of that information, okay? Write a children's book, though she's never written one before. Have it published. Then go on the media tour, then get arrested for murder. That is what she's done in the last year. Like, if that doesn't tell you that this is a calculating, conniving woman,
through a story and, you know, just have hopes that it will help other kids.
Grief is not linear, and this sounds like it's a touchstone when you need it to come back to for you and your boys. So the first one you had mentioned was connection of the 3 C's, keeping the person's spirit alive. The second, continuity.
Yes, and that's, you know, just making sure you're trying to stay, you know, as much as you can on routine, and, you know, whether that's, you know, sports or pick up and drop off from school, or community activities, just, you know, trying to stay in a routine as much as possible.
And then the last C is care.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So, you know, on top of just loving your kids and hugging them and kissing them and, you know, extra cuddles and everything, I think it's important that I've learned to really affirm, you know, their feelings. When they're mad or they're sad, you know, it's just that affirmation of, I understand, like, that you are upset, you know, because of this. Like, let's talk about it, you know. And so I think really it's not, you know, it's the emotional and physical touch of it, but really letting your kids understand that you know why they're feeling the way that they are feeling, and it's okay, and let's deal with it and talk about it.
There's a promotion right now. Get a free copy of the book April 30th and May 1st through Amazon Kindle. You are an amazing woman. And
wow. You know what I've got for you? I've got the CCCDs. CCCDs. Yeah, the CCCD. You got the 3 C's? I got a D for you, lady. And it's not the one you're probably chasing while you were throwing your husband's life away so carelessly, right? But it's the D called divorce. Because you know what? If the continuity and care and all of this stuff you wanted to talk about, guess what? None of that would have been necessary if the man was alive. And he would have been alive had you not tried to kill him repeatedly and finally succeeded. How about that? I seriously hope they throw her up under the jail. I feel so sorry for her 3 children. They're going to have to grow up without both parents. Good riddance to them not growing up with that woman, though. Imagine growing up raised by that woman and then them finding out at some other later point, or just the trauma. Oh, jeez. At some point, those boys, her sons, are going to look like their father, going to act like their father, going to remind her of the father. Then what? Because she's decided that this is a better solution than divorce, which they were already getting. Ugh. Anyway, thank you, Shar. Thank you for this story. Please subscribe, click that bell. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the full story, this new kind of format we got going on.
Bless your heart.